like an hour. It's real, very good special. Very good special you guys need to check out. And again, like I said, I'm hell on a hood rat. Hood rats are very dangerous to the black community as well because hood rats are dusty nigger factories. Hood rats have been very strategically placed in the black community. Hood rats were created to break up the black family, to make it acceptable for a female to be a single mother and half-ass raise kids. When you half-ass raise these kids, that's the foundation of a lot of problems. And I'm hell on that. And a lot of women who personify some of these hood rat characteristics, they get offended by that. Which I don't give a damn. You should get offended. It is what it is. Sometimes the truth hurts. Can you handle the truth? If you want the truth, sometimes the truth hurts. And the thing is, ladies, the problem is a lot of times the truth hurts because in this generation, a lot of women are not used to dealing with a real man. See, ladies, I am what's called a real ass man. And most women, sisters out here, did not grow up with a real man. A lot of the men women see, or women have seen, a lot of the men that women have seen in the last 40, 45 years are just niggas coming in and out the house. Niggas that your mama was fucking every now and then. You've never really seen a real dude get down and put down the law, put down the rules, put down the truth. You haven't seen a real dude. You've never been around a real dude. So when y'all see a real ass man spitting some real shit, it offends you. Whereas a woman who knows the game, they can respect the truth in that. See, the thing is, a lot of you ladies are used to these cupcaking ass niggas. You used to trick ass niggas. You used to goddamn simps. Laying up around you, sucking your ass day in and day out. Not telling you the truth about yourself. And I'm just not that dude. I'm a real ass man. And a real man or real men like me have no problem telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. Good or bad, right or wrong, they're going to lay that truth down to you. Now, as a real woman, you got to learn how to accept that. A real woman can accept that truth and grow from that. A punk ass will get offended by that. A lot of females feel like if a nigga is not kissing your ass, they're being disrespectful. And every time I go to events, I was at an event this weekend up in Las Vegas. I was at the Hoodie Awards that Steve Harvey put together. And that was a very good award show, by the way. Shout out to my brother Steve Harvey and the whole crew. The Hoodie Awards was a great event. Everybody looked nice, just a beautiful black crowd. The New Edition performed, Stevie Wonder performed. Just a lot of great groups performed out there. It was very well put together. Very nice event. Now the thing is, whenever you deal with a group of sisters, you have to kind of kiss their asses to a certain degree. And I've noticed this. That's the only thing I don't like when you deal with a group of sisters. You know, you gotta pander to the female audience. You gotta say, oh, shout out to all the big girls. You gotta pretend that the big girls are fly. You gotta kind of throw salt on the brothers a little bit. Oh, the men ain't really taking care of their kids. The women are too strong. You gotta start talking that shit. Now, that I don't like. They did a little bit of that at the Hoodie Awards this weekend. They did a little pandering. You know, they did a lot of Jesus pandering, because that's another thing. If you get a group of black women together and start talking about how Jesus is going to forgive you and Jesus this, Jesus that, they soak all that up. So you got to do a lot of pandering to the black female audience for $1. Black women will pay large amounts of money to get that pandering. There's a lot of money in the pandering to the black female business. And that's my thing is, I want to be the anti-panderer. This is probably why most of my audience is men. And I like that. I like to have an audience who can respect the truth. So I ain't got to do all that pandering. Because I have this thing about being phony. I'm not good at being phony. That's why I just keep it 110. Because the thing is, if you phony, you say one thing in public and then behind closed doors you do something else, then that makes you look like a hypocrite. And I don't want to be neither. I don't like the thought of being a hypocrite. I don't want anybody to say, hey, nigga, you tricked us. Nobody can say I tricked them. I kept it P.I. till I D.I. I keep it Macish all day. There's nothing you gonna dig up that about me that ain't Macish. That there's no simping, no tricking, nothing that you gonna dig up about me that ain't got some macking up on it. I done let y'all know that from day one. How I get down, how I roll. So I can't sit up and tell guys to roll out the red carpet and trick off your drinks at the club and do all this for the ladies when I ain't done none of that shit. And if I did start cupcaking and tricking and start telling dudes to do that, people would call me out. They like, hey, wait a minute, why are you telling niggas to roll out the red carpet for women and buy them stuff and you don't do shit like that? Every woman I've ever dated will come out the woodwork saying, well, hey, nigga, you ain't never done none of that for me. So I like to just keep it truthful. I like to keep it 110. But like I said, a lot of times when you deal with the black female audience, you have to do a lot of pandering, a lot of ass kissing, and I like dealing with the brothers. With the brothers, you ain't got to do all that. But like I said, women, you have to understand that truth does not equal disrespect. Just because somebody's telling you the truth, that does not mean that they're disrespecting you. You got to learn how to deal with the truth. Now, this young lady on Twitter, she also said, because I emailed her back, I was like, look, sister, I'm just telling the truth about certain things. I'm not putting all the sisters in the same category because black women are very diverse. I don't lump all sisters into the same category. That's a big mistake that we all make because people try to do that to us. They'll try to lump black men all into the same category, and black men are often judged by the actions of dusty niggas, and a lot of black women's actions are judged by the actions of hood rats, and that's completely inaccurate. We're very diverse people. We're not all monolithic. But the young lady said to me on Twitter, she was like, well, Tariq, black women already have enough negativity, so we shouldn't feed into the negativity. We shouldn't add more negative energy out there on black women because black women are already stigmatized in the community. They're already stigmatized in the media, so we shouldn't add on to that. Now, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with her saying that because the thing is, black men are extremely stigmatized and demonized in the media, and black women as a whole, y'all don't say, hey, let's stop demonizing the black men. A lot of sisters join right on in with the demonization and the criminalization of black men. Y'all jump right in head first, criticizing and throwing the brothers under the bus along with everybody else. So that criticism I cannot take. And again, I'm not trying to create a negative vibe or to try to stigmatize anybody. I just call out what needs to be corrected in the community. And if we're going to criticize anybody for being disrespectful, I don't like that criticism because there are a lot of white folks and a lot of people outside the black community who are constantly disrespecting not just black men, but black women highly, but nobody never says nothing. I've been the only one who will come out and talk about these movies like The Help and The Blind Side and Precious and talk about how negative they are to black women. I've been very outspoken about films like that and other television shows and other entities that are blatantly disrespectful to sisters, and a lot of sisters sit up and don't say nothing about it. So I have a problem with that. So if we're going to criticize somebody for being disrespectful, let's criticize all of it. Let's not single out me or any other brother, and brothers, let's not single out Oprah or Tyler Perry or whoever. We're so quick to point the finger at each other. I'm an equal opportunity offender, by the way. I get on everybody. So this whole thing where I get on sisters, no. I get on everybody. I get on black brothers, white dudes, Asians, white men. I get everybody. Everybody gets hit. But we have to see the real disrespect that comes our way, because a lot of times it comes to us in very covert ways, and that has a lot to do with the self-esteem of the whole community, because we're attacked very strategically, especially through the media.
Have anything else?
I'm educated, but not well enough to be a lawyer, a doctor, and, you know, I feel like I'm very good in what I do, so acting is basically, you know, my thing.
Dr. Dyson, how do you feel hearing him talk, saying this is all I have, I don't have anything else? That saddens me.
Well, let me start. Look, obviously, let's be honest, and I'm a college professor, got a PhD at Princeton, but I was a teen father, hustled on the streets for 4 years, didn't start college till I was 21. So I'm not here trying to point the finger or condescendingly, because then that would be a lie about what I've done in my own life. But once having awakened, once realizing that if I want to provide an opportunity for my son in the future, I had to be educated in this society. I think we have to acknowledge that. Now, if you're a tremendous actor, and you are, I've seen you act, you're an extraordinary actor on The Wire and the like, so you got mad chops as a thespian, but the question is, if your last gig was about a year ago, you probably want to generate an alternative strategy to self-support, which means you got to get some education, which means you got to, and it's not for the sake of education. My son took an extended plan to finish, but I told him, you're going to keep your behind in school until you get a degree, because you're going to get out of my house and out my pocket. So the thing is, and I love that brother, but so I think you have to have an alternative, because most black men are not going to be able to shoot a basketball. Either you got a jump shot, you know, jump shot, or you got a wicked jump shot, right? You can do that. Entertainment. The thing is that you've got to find an alternative to those things so that you can fall back, a fallback plan, so that should it not work out, you're educated yourself to the degree that you're able to take care of yourself and do your thing.
People need to learn, too, if you have success early in acting, then that's what, I mean, you're popular. People like, man, they're telling you every day, you're great, man, I love that show. But then when that show is over, and it's been a year since you have to advance what you know as far as reading more books and getting comfortable and getting that education, because that's the only thing that's going to allow you to take it to the next level.
Like,
I can tell you about me, Julito. I, started modeling, and I got accepted to 5 colleges for film and television production. And 2 weeks before my first day of school, I got discovered in LA, and they wanted me to go to Paris. I told myself, okay, I'm going to put college on hold for a year. I talked to my university and deferred for a year. And they even said that they would give me some type of credit if I can learn French when I came back. Okay. But I told myself, if I am not a supermodel in a year, peace out, Paris. I told myself that plan. I give myself 1 year, and if I'm not there, I'm going to go back to school and get my education and go after my other dream, which was film and television production, to be a producer. And it's interesting to me that you don't have that other plan. And that's what saddens me, is to not have that true other plan where you can be just as successful but in another field.
It's like, the reason I haven't acted is not because I haven't been, it's just right now in the society and everything that's going on in the industry-wise, there's no roles out there for me, and I don't want to be stereotyped as a young hood guy. I'm not saying just because I don't go to college, I'm not educated, because if you look at people like 50 Cent, like Jay-Z, they never, none of them made it out of high school, But
you're looking at 1 in a million. That's like looking at a young girl looking at a supermodel and saying, well, Tyra did this or so-and-so did this. Those are 1 in a million. It is like winning the lotto. Woo! It's like winning the lotto.
50 Cent got shot 9 times. God bless him, he still lived. Jay-Z had to sling Raw and push Purple and Wet off this step. So the thing is, God forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. True. But at the same time, he said that he wants to make it possible for other people. He said, no, Hov did that, so you won't have to do that. So the reason that Hov slung crack, and the reason that 50 Cent did what he did, is so that other people would have the opportunity to take an alternative route to success. So I think that these are brilliant, obviously, young men, but you have to have a fallback plan. You got to have plan A. If plan A don't work, you have to have plan B. Plan B don't work, plan C, plan D. You got to have alternate strategies to get what you're trying to get.
I still got plan B, C, and D right here. Even with my life right now, I still have plans. Still, constantly.